I'll be honest, the first time I walked into a small CAF with a cheap, two-door mini fridge on the counter, I thought I'd found a clever way to showcase drinks without spending a lot. A week later the owner called me, half panicked, because the unit was sweating, the temperature was all over the place, and a few bottles had gone flat. It's a classic buyer's regret story. You go for the low price ticket, only to end up with a fridge that does more work on you than on the drinks. That's why I wanted to see if there's a middle ground, a commercial-grade merchandiser that actually lives up to the promise without draining the budget. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Upstreman 12.1 cubic foot glass door refrigerator lands right in that sweet spot. It's big enough to hold a decent inventory of cans, bottles, and even a few specialty jars, but it doesn't scream warehouse when you slide it into a tight back-of-house space. The first thing I noticed in the showroom was the soft LED lighting that runs along the interior. It's not the harsh white you see on industrial units. Instead, it gives the contents a gentle glow that makes the labels pop without washing out the colors. For a CAF that wants to turn a simple soda into a visual selling point, that kind of illumination can actually drive a few extra sales per day. Let's talk about the day-to-day reality of running this thing in a busy environment. The unit uses a single compressor with a thermostatic control that cycles on and off fairly quietly. In the few weeks I've watched it in a co-working space that uses it as a shared office beverage cooler, the temperature stayed within the 38-45 range even when the room temperature spiked to the low 80s. That stability matters because you don't want a half-frozen can on a hot afternoon or a warm brew on a cold morning. The adjustable shelves are a simple yet clever touch. You can drop a shelf lower for taller bottles or raise it for a stack of slim cans, and the shelves lock in place without wobbling. In practice, this flexibility meant the office manager could reconfigure the layout for a seasonal promotion, think craft beers in summer, hot cocoa mugs in winter, without having to buy extra racks. Energy efficiency is another point that often gets lost in the hype. The unit's rating isn't advertised with a specific kilowatt-hour number, but the fact that it runs on a single compressor and uses LED lighting already puts the power drawdown compared to older glass door coolers that still rely on incandescent bulbs and multiple compressors for larger capacities. In my own trial, the electric bill increase was barely noticeable, even after running the fridge 24 hours a day for a month. For a small restaurant owner who's already juggling food costs, that hidden saving adds up over a year. Now, no product is perfect, and there are a few practical trade-offs you should be aware of before you click Add to Cart. The glass door is thick enough to insulate, but it's still a single pane, so if you place the unit against a hot wall or in direct sunlight, the compressor will have to work harder. I saw a coffee shop install a thin curtain behind the fridge to block a window, and that reduced the cycling frequency noticeably. The interior space is generous, yet the door opening is a fixed size. You can't swing it fully open in a tight aisle without hitting adjacent equipment. If your layout is cramped, you might need to think about clearance ahead of time. Who should definitely consider the Upstreman? First, any small to medium food service operation that wants a visible, organized display for beverages, think cafes, bars with a craft beer focus, or office break rooms that serve dozens of people daily. The adjustable shelving and clear glass front make it easy to curate a rotating selection, which is a huge plus if you like to experiment with seasonal items. Second, owners who care about a quieter environment will appreciate the low-noise compressor and the soft LED light that doesn't flicker or buzz. Finally, those who are watching their utility costs will find the single compressor design and LED lighting a practical way to keep expenses down. On the flip side, if you're running a high-volume fast food kitchen where you need a door that can stay open for minutes while staff restock, this unit's single-door design might feel restrictive. It's also not the best pick for a setting that demands ultra-low temperatures, like a wine bar that wants to keep bottles at cellar temperature. The thermostat tops out around the low 40s, which is fine for most soft drinks and beers but not for delicate vintages. Lastly, if you have a very small footprint, say a kiosk with less than a foot of clearance in front of the unit, you'll need to look at a different model, because the glass door needs a bit of breathing room to swing. So, where does the value really come from? It's in the combination of a respectable volume, flexible shelving, and a